What if I told you that the key to a better life isn't about caring more, but caring less? That's right. We live in a world that constantly tells us to be positive, to chase success, and to strive for happiness. But what if all that striving is actually making us miserable? Welcome to The Subtle Art of Not Giving by Manson, a book that throws the traditional self-help advice out the window and replaces it with brutal honesty, practical wisdom, and a little bit of profanity. In this summary, we'll break down the book's 9 powerful chapters, each designed to shift your mindset and help you prioritize what truly matters. By the end, you'll walk away with a fresh perspective on happiness, struggle, and the things actually worth giving a about. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Don't try. Life is full of struggles, and no matter how hard you try, you can't escape them. Manson kicks off the book with an unexpected truth. Trying too hard to be happy or successful often backfires. The more we chase positive experiences, the more we reinforce the idea that we lack them. This is called the backwards law. Manson introduces Charles Bukowski, an alcoholic, failed writer who ultimately found success, not because he tried harder, but because he stopped caring about success and simply did what he loved. The lesson: instead of obsessing over being better, focus on embracing life as it is. Accepting your failures and limitations is the first step to true growth. When you stop trying so hard to be something you're not, you create the space to naturally improve and find fulfillment. Chapter 2. Happiness is a problem. Here's the harsh reality. Life is suffering. No matter what you do, pain, failure, and disappointment will always exist. But here's the twist. Happiness isn't the absence of problems. It's the ability to solve meaningful ones. Manson tells the story of a prince who lived in luxury but abandoned it all to seek a deeper truth. That prince? Siddhartha Gautama, later known as the Buddha. His journey teaches us that the path to happiness isn't about avoiding pain, but about finding struggles worth enduring. Instead of expecting an easy life, embrace the challenges that align with your purpose. True contentment comes not from eliminating struggle, but from choosing the right struggles to engage with. Chapter 3. You are not special. Modern culture tells us we're all special, unique, and destined for greatness. Manson calls this out as a lie. Not everyone can be extraordinary. By definition, most of us are average, and that's okay. By rejecting the need to be special, we remove the pressure to be constantly exceptional. Embracing our mediocrity allows us to focus on real, meaningful improvement rather than chasing validation. When we accept our averageness, we can begin to grow in authentic ways, without the weight of unrealistic expectations. The pursuit of being extraordinary often leads to anxiety and dissatisfaction, but embracing who we are opens the door to genuine self-improvement. Chapter 4. The value of suffering. What do you value in life? Manson argues that our values dictate our happiness. The problem is that most people chase superficial values, wealth, fame, pleasure, without realizing these are unreliable sources of fulfillment. The key is to choose better values: integrity, responsibility, and curiosity. Manson shares the story of Dave Mustaine, the guitarist who was kicked out of Metallica. Even after building a hugely successful band, Megadeth, he still saw himself as a failure. Why? Because his values were tied to being better than Metallica, rather than to personal fulfillment. The takeaway: your values define your happiness, so choose them wisely. If you're feeling unfulfilled, it may be time to evaluate whether your values are serving you or setting you up for perpetual disappointment. Chapter 5. You are always choosing. Life is about choices, and even when we feel powerless, we are always choosing how we respond. Manson shares the story of William James, a man who transformed his life from suicidal despair to becoming one of the greatest psychologists ever, simply by choosing to take responsibility for his existence. Even when bad things happen, we can choose how we react. Taking ownership of our choices, even the painful ones, gives us control over our lives. playing the victim only robs us of our power. The moment we take responsibility for our actions and perspectives, we gain the ability to change our circumstances. Owning our choices, no matter how difficult, is the first step toward real freedom. Chapter 6. You're wrong about everything, but so am I. Certainty is an illusion. We all like to believe we know the truth, but history proves that humans have always been wrong about almost everything. Manson argues that being comfortable with uncertainty and admitting our mistakes makes us stronger. Instead of clinging to beliefs, we should embrace curiosity and adaptability. The smartest people aren't those who claim to know everything, but those who are willing to learn and change. Our beliefs should be flexible, constantly evolving as we gain new experiences and insights. Growth isn't about being right. It's about being open to the possibility of being wrong. Chapter 7. Failure is the way forward. Most people fear failure, but Manson argues that failure is actually progress. Every mistake is an opportunity to improve. The only way to truly fail is to avoid taking action at all. He introduces the do something principle. If you're stuck, take action, any action. Motivation doesn't come before action, it comes from action. Stop waiting for inspiration and start moving, even if it's just one small step forward. Each failure is a lesson, a stepping stone towards success. The people who achieve great things aren't the ones who avoid failure, but the ones who keep pushing through it. Chapter 8. The importance of saying no. We can't do everything. The more things we say yes to, the less meaning they hold. Learning to say no allows us to focus on what really matters. Manson discusses how relationships thrive not on endless positivity, but on strong boundaries. Saying no isn't about being rude, it's about respecting yourself and your time. If something doesn't align with your values, walk away. When we say no to distractions and obligations that don't serve us, we create space for the things that genuinely matter. Saying no is an act of self-care and an essential part of living a fulfilling life. Chapter 9. And then you die. The ultimate truth. We all die. This chapter brings everything full circle. If death is inevitable, then why waste time caring about things that don't matter? Manson shares the story of a friend's death and how it reshaped his perspective. When we accept our mortality, we stop sweating the small stuff and start living for what truly matters. Understanding that life is short pushes us to focus on love, growth, and purpose. Every moment is a chance to embrace what truly matters. So stop wasting time on things that don't add value to your life. Conclusion. So, what's the subtle art of not giving a? It's about choosing what you give a about, not caring about everything, but caring deeply about the right things. Mark Manson's message is simple. Life is short, struggles are inevitable. But by choosing meaningful problems, embracing failure, setting boundaries, and accepting our mortality, we can lead a more fulfilling and authentic life. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more insightful audiobook summaries and life-changing wisdom. And remember, stop giving a about the things that don't matter and start living for the ones that do.